Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll stay on the ground with Conner again. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Here's Roethlisberger. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. The completion good for throw, and it's 2nd down.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
A quick pass out to Juju. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Going up top. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's what he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Yellow. 198. Watch 98. 98 to Mike. Yeah.
Following the penalty, it's Williams. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That good for 19 at a first down. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator. When we clip out the box score, nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it with Williams. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellows up front in order to bring this one home.
Here's Mahomes to throw, and he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had a victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory, like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now Roethlisberger to throw. He's got the tight end, Bennett. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys. But you and I both know it's easier said than done. When the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
It's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. Roethlisberger on target to Washington, and they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards. Roethlisberger now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger getting this one into the hands of Smith-Schuster. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh 1st. Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Less than 2 minutes remain here in Super Bowl 54. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Washington's got it. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone. They can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. And Boswell's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On the ground, this is Williams. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football. We just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. He'll be stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't free him. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Now Mahomes. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop.
I'm scared.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. But it'll be 2nd down. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. He gets this one to Johnson. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. 2nd down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. And the Kansas City Chiefs are the Super Bowl champions. This moment comes, I think you look back.